starting on Facebook. And then as soon as he... Oop, hold on a second. Let me do one more thing because I forgot. Start 2. Okay. Should be good everywhere now. So as soon as he gives the high sign, you should be good to go.
Okay. Hey everybody, Meteorologist Candace Campos here from the Click O Studios. Bring you kind of an update on kind of a gloomy, breezy, windy at times kind of day across Central Florida, but much needed rain. I know it's not the best thing to have rain, especially if you have some outdoor plans, but this rain is certainly beneficial, and we'll explain why in just a few seconds. But let's talk about the main hazards, the way, how the weather is going to be impacting you throughout today and even into tomorrow. So let's get to the maps here and give you kind of an idea of what we're talking about here. All right, so we have beach erosion, coastal flooding. We're not talking about a tropical system, although it is roughing up our surf like a tropical system. So do expect rough surf. We're talking 8 to 10 foot breaking waves out there, mainly focused on areas of Flagler County as well as Volusia County. So that is going to be a big concern. But of course, that only highlights a small sliver of East Central Florida. The rest of Central Florida, though, is going to be windy pretty much from I-95 out towards the east. On the western side of I-95, it's going to be more breezy. So the difference is along the coast, we're still talking about winds up to about 20 to 30 miles per hour sustained, where areas there along the coast or further inland will be more about 15 to 20. Still a very blustery day and not the most not the nicest day to be outside, unfortunately. And then speedy showers, they are quickly running through Central Florida, which is great news. We just kind of need that consistently in the weather forecast for the next few days. And we're actually going to be seeing a little more rain in the forecast as we head throughout the work week, which will help you, might even help you with your water bill. Certainly I could use the help, as we are going to be we could dial back some of the watering your grass, watering your plants, because Mother Nature might actually help us out in that category for the next few days. All right, let's talk about the reason why we are so windy. We've got this big old ridge of high pressure to the north, kind of sitting over the Carolinas. And then we have this pesky low that's kind of sitting right off the coast of east coast of Florida, just north of the Bahamas, and that's going to continue to spiral in a lot of that moisture. So you got high pressure in one spot, low pressure in another spot, and that difference is what creates that tight pressure gradient. Think about if you stand in a downtown, for instance, and you stand between two buildings, right? You get that tunnel effect where the wind's even stronger between the two buildings. Same idea. That tight pressure gradient is what's causing a very windy day along our coast and a very blustery, breezy day further inland. That low is also adding and injecting more moisture to the forecast, which is why we're going to see those fast, I like to call them speedy showers moving through. It's not going to accumulate to a lot of rain. By any means, this is not going to be a drought-busting day, but at least we're starting to chip away at that drought that we are now in this severe criteria across most of Central Florida. So let's look at the radar. Of course, this is what's happening right now. If you are heading out the door, we have times where you look outside and all of a sudden it gets kind of gray. It rains for a few seconds, maybe a few minutes, and then that's it. And that's going to be the story throughout most of today and into the evening hours. So to take you here in Flagler County, good afternoon to you guys. Mound Grove, DuPont, Bunnell, your areas right now, kind of seeing that misty nuisance rain. That's not the most convenient, kind of inconvenient weather, I guess you could say. As we head further south in Tomoka Estates, Ormond Beach, also seeing that light, almost drizzle kind of rain. Further south we go, though, even further inland, we had a stronger batch of rain that moved along the coast, and it's kind of held together enough to push further inland. So if you're watching us or you're going to be around the DeLand area, Orange City, Lake Helen, there along the I-4 corridor through Deltona, you're seeing some heavy rain, especially just north of Lake Helen, a little pocket of some torrential rain. We'll take that, right? And then the further inland you go through Umatilla, the Villages, beneficial rain falling for you guys as well. A little further south, more into that Seminole Orange County line, some scattered showers through Wekiva Springs, south of to Altamont, Winter Springs, Castleberry. You guys are kind of seeing just some beneficial scattered showers out there. And then in the St. Cloud area, watching some pockets of some moderate rain there just south of the Turnpike and right there along 192. So, of course, we could use a couple more of these fast-moving showers throughout the next few hours. That, of course, will certainly help. But the reason why the showers aren't just kind of sitting around is because of the wind. Look at our sustained winds right now. We're clocking winds right now between 12 and up to 22 miles per hour. And as you can see, even along our inland zones, it's still a very breezy, almost windy day for you guys in Orlando right now. Our sustained winds are at 20 miles per hour, where areas along our coast, Cocoa Beach, you guys are clocking at 22. Yesterday, I was out with my family. We took a second to go out to the beaches, and the kids were complaining because they were getting sandblasted. I mean, the wind is really whipping out there. It started yesterday evening. It's going to continue throughout today and even into early Tuesday morning. So just do be aware if you are making some outdoor plans. It won't be as soggy tomorrow, but it still will be kind of windy throughout the first half of tomorrow. Look at your wind gusts. This is what we're expecting over the next few hours. Within the next hour or so, that's kind of going to be our peak wind. Sustained winds about 15 to 20. Gusting, you can see there, upwards about 30 miles per hour. So 30 to 35 will be kind of that wind gust maximum that we'll be seeing across Central Florida. So if you have neighbors that have maybe some lawn clippings that they were trying to get done over the last couple of weekends, I know we do at my house, might be blowing around a little more, so just be aware of that. You can see these streamlines. What are all these little white things kind of crossing the screen there? Those are what we call wind streamlines, and they basically tell us, one, how strong the winds are by how long they are. Also shows us the direction. You can see we have that strong onshore breeze between out of the northeast, about 20 to 23 miles per hour. For that reason, again, not everybody, but along the coast, basically 95 eastward, you guys are going to be seeing the worst of the wind. So a wind advisory is in effect for you guys until this evening. Then we're going to start dialing back our wind and our rain chances. So tomorrow won't be as bad of a day. Now, nuisance rain, not a big deal. Blustery at times, not a big deal. This is where it's more of a concern. Again, not for everybody, but for folks who have homes, residences, businesses right there along the immediate coastline. And of course, we always think about the folks who are still cleaning up and picking up the pieces from last hurricane season. This is where our biggest concern is going to be. It's our coastal hazards, our beach erosion, our coastal flooding. Not from freshwater rain falling from the sky. We're talking more of that saltwater intrusion, bringing in those waves, digging again at that freshly new drop sand that a lot of places have been trying to put together after Hurricane Ian and Nicole. So here are your coastal hazards. Not a beach day, bad beach day. Bad boating day. You already know this. Significant coastal flooding, though, will be possible at certain times. When we start talking about high tides, we have abnormally high tides yesterday and today. That's going to add to the issue when we talk about that coastal flooding. But look at your waves out at sea, about 11 to 16 feet. Once they're crashing against our coastline, they're still up to about 8 to 10 feet. So also having that high risk of rip currents out there. I know there's surfers out there enjoying the waters. I would not suggest that whatsoever, but you do what you got to do. All right, coastal flood warnings. This is where people think flood and they think, oh my gosh, there's going to be all this crazy rain. This is coastal flood warnings. That means that there will be that possibility during high tide. The water's higher, the waves are pushing up against the shore line, and that's where we will start to see some water moving onto some of the roadways. Not all roadways, but we do have that warning in place. And that does include most of Flagler County, coastal Volusia County, and even a part of Brevard County there along the Cape and the barrier islands down through in the Atlantic as well, as that will be a possibility. Just make sure that if you are driving around these areas for tonight, even into early tomorrow morning, keep an eye out if police officers or troopers are out there. Just pay attention to any closures that might be out there, especially if they happen at night. That's where we come to our other issue. High tide's expected to be around midnight tonight in many of our spots here. So our next high tide, we just cleared one at around 11:40 or so this morning. Our next one's going to be overnight. It's going to be midnight. So about 12:09 for you guys in Flagler Beach. More into the Volusia County area. Yours will be about 12:05, give or take. That's going to be the peak. That's going to be your highest tide. And then after that, things start to go down. So leading up to that midnight hour is where we are going to be keeping a very close eye on our coastline. And then in Cocoa Beach, your high tide, or at least your next high tide, will be about just after midnight. They're about 12:02, and you can see some of those wave heights. I know a lot of people along the coastline live and die by those numbers. So just keep an eye out, as the next high tide Tuesday afternoon won't be as bad, because we are expecting some of those winds to dial back just a little bit. All right, so we talked about the hazards on the seas. Now let's talk about the hazards when it comes to rain. Today is not the big rain story. It's great, though. We need the rain. If you have any outdoor plans, I'm sorry, but we need it. Okay, so let's look at your rain coverage. A lot of people always want to know why is one rain chance higher than others? Why does my pinpoint weather app show me this rain chance, but then later on in the day it shows me this rain chance? Because you're moving, because you're going around town. Rain chances differ depending on where you're at. So we're trying to break it down here to kind of spell the story out for you as best as possible. So for you guys in Flagler, Volusia, Brevard, you guys are closest to that low. You're closest to all that moisture. You guys are going to see the highest chance of rain. And you have been throughout the day. So we're going to keep that rain chance in the forecast for the next few hours. So if you are going to be running out in the next few hours to pick up your kids from school, you've got carpool. I don't see us having to stop any carpools today because of severe weather. It just will be kind of the kids getting wet as they run to the car or running back to the bus stop. So again, this is not severe weather criteria, but certainly an inconvenient time if we see some of that rain coming in around 3 o'clock, which is certainly possible. Areas, let's say along 95, you're going to have the highest chance. Let's push a little further inland. Along I-4, your best shot of rain will be about 60%. And you're seeing it there on the radar. We're seeing those fast moving showers. They're not going to accumulate to an inch, 2, 3 inches of rainfall, but we are chipping away at some of the rain that we certainly need. And then for you guys further west, more along 75, Lake, Marion, Sumter County, that zone, your rain chances still in the picture at 50%, just not as high as your friends further to the east. All right, this is the rainfall within the last 24 hours. Normally we'd say, not that much, but this is measurable. This is something. We'll take it, right? Beggars can't be choosers, right? So as long as this doesn't come in a severe threat or flooding threat, we'll be happy. The rain we can use, it's the wind that's really going to be the main issue for today. So for you guys in Palm Coast, congratulations. You guys are the winner of the rain lottery today. Look how much rain you guys have picked up so far. Almost an inch in some of your reporting stations. That is more rain today than we've seen accumulating probably within the last month. So that's great. The last time we saw measurable rain, I believe, was the 13th of March. So it has been quite some time. Flagler Beach, you guys are also doing amazing. Ormond by the Sea, just over about half an inch. DeLand and Palm Bay, you can see just a little over 3/4 of an inch of rain. So keep it coming. Let's keep that rain coming just for another day or so. But there's more rain, don't worry, in the forecast. So let's look at here at the clouds and rain forecast. Wanted to stop the clock here, give you an idea. Remember, the darker the shades, the heavier the rain. So far, this modeling today has verified pretty well. So that's all good news here. You can see scattered showers still expected by about 3, 4 o'clock. Trying to give you an idea around that dismissal time. Of course, schools get out at different times, but give or take, this is what we're looking at, about 3 to 4 o'clock. Scattered showers from Volusia, stretching inland into Lake and Sumter County as well. That's where you guys have that 50% chance of rain across our inland zones. The scattered showers will continue. Chief Meteorologist Tom Sorrells, he'll be in tonight and he'll be talking more about that. But you can see pockets, not everyone all the time. It is going to be just those fast-moving, streaming showers that continue to move in all along that strong breeze. And then once again, 8 o'clock, it looks like you guys in Volusia County will see another surge of moisture potentially as the sun goes down. And then we're going to bring back those rain chances. The winds will start to die down a little bit. And tomorrow, although we can't rule out the chance of seeing some scattered showers, it won't be as wet as it is today. All right, so the rain is helping out with our wildfire danger. It helps out with our drought concerns. It also helps out with our pollen. And listen, if you're just done with seeing temperatures in the 90s this early in the year, look at your weather today. Beautiful. Temperatures in the mid-70s today. 76 right now will be your temperature in Kissimmee. We'll be in the 70s across the area. I didn't fix that 90. That 90 in Sanford is not right. I missed it. Look at your drought monitor. This was updated last week on Thursday. All of Central Florida, with the exception just the northern fringe of Flagler County, now under officially a severe drought, meaning there will be issues when it comes to watering restrictions, burn bans, the list goes on and on. But we have something that might also help the drought. So we have a low out over the Atlantic, and now we're going to be talking about a low out in the Gulf of Mexico. This is expected to happen later on this week. You can see there the clock there on the top of your screen. This is Thursday morning. We're watching an area of low pressure. It could be kind of a cutoff low. Basically what a cutoff low means, it cuts off of its main line that pushes weather systems from west to east. This is going to kind of cut off and kind of hang around and sit over the very warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. See where I'm going here with this? There will be the potential that this could develop into a stronger low. As of now, the possibility of it becoming a tropical system, although it's slight, we have enough warm waters out there. But will it be able to gain any tropical characteristics? That's something we're going to have to wait and see. This is not something to be concerned about, but it is going to be good news for our rainfall department. You can see here as we run the clock here. If you have some outdoor plans Thursday and Friday, it's going to be one of those days we're going to have to keep a close eye on our extended forecast, because you can see 7 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday and even into Friday, there will be that potential as that low kind of just meanders. You see it's not going very, very fast anywhere. It's that cutoff low that has that potential. But by the way, the waters under there in the northern Gulf of Mexico are nearing 80 degrees. It is bath water in the Gulf of Mexico right now. which is why we're even talking about the potential for this thing to even become something down the road. All you need to know really though, we're going to have kind of a soggy, windy day today. Our rain chance are going to drop off a bit Tuesday and Wednesday. If you have outdoor plans that you need to get done, you've got to do stuff around your lawn, your yard, whatever the case may be, Tuesday and Wednesday will be your best day. Rain chances go right back up as that low starts to develop over the Gulf of Mexico. Thursday and Friday rain chances are looking great, 50 to 60%. Normally, I'm not a big fan of all the rain. We haven't seen it in quite some time. Look at your temperatures, though. As I kind of wrap this up, we're in the mid-70s right now. We're all still below that 80-degree mark, which is beautiful. And as we show you here your extended forecasts, rain chance again go down Tuesday and Wednesday. We are going to be staying below our average. I'm just so sick and tired of the 90s. I know you are too. But you can see rain chances do go up Thursday and Friday. So certainly chipping away at that drought. Neither of these lows, the one today or the one later on this week, will be busting our drought by any means. But you know what? We'll take whatever rain we can get, especially if it doesn't come as anything severe. Wind advisory is still in effect until tomorrow. The highest tide, the biggest concern will be once again tonight at about midnight into Tuesday morning. Rainfall, scattered showers. Keep the rain gear handy today. Not so much Tuesday and Wednesday, might have it in the trunk or so, but bringing the rain gear back out, making sure the kids are prepared Thursday and Friday, as we will see another round of scattered showers. If you have any weather questions, make sure to comment below if you're on Facebook. If you're watching us on YouTube, do us a huge favor and subscribe. Like that button there at the bottom of your screen. That really does help us out a lot. Gets our information out there so that way you can plan out your day. Jonathan Kegas, he let me sit in this chair for a little bit, but he'll be back later on this week. So, of course, make sure to head on to clickorlando.com/weather for all the weather updates, everything you need to know. We'll be giving it to you live. Have a great day, everybody.